Hi everyone, it's Billy Joe from the Peel Field Centers. We're back at the Orr Beehive for episode 3. Today we are going to be looking at the roles that each of the bees play in the hive. You can see the queen bee marked with a blue dot. Her role is vital to the survival of the colony. She has two main priorities. The first is to produce chemical scents that help regulate the unity of the colony, and the other is to lay eggs. As mentioned in previous videos, she lays up to 1,500 eggs per day in 30-second intervals. Here's a picture of us marking the queen. The tool is called a queen marking plunger, and it's used to trap her very gently, just so we're able to get that blue color on her. We use blue in even years and red in odd years. This makes it easier for us to find her in the hive. Males in the colony, and there is rarely more than 1,000 found. Their only role is to mate. They are fed and tended to by the workers in case needed for this. Mating occurs out of the hive 2 to 300 feet in the air. This is known as the drone congregation area. Once mating is complete, the drones die. When winter comes, the workers force them out due to the large amount of food that they consume. Worker bees are non-fertile females who have many roles in the hive. These roles can be broken down into days. In days 1 to 3, they are referred to as housekeeping bees. After emerging from their cell, they gorge themselves on pollen and honey. After this, their first task is to clean out the cells they emerged from. These cells are left clean and immaculate for the queen to lay another egg or to store nectar and honey. During days 3 to 16, they are referred to as undertakers. The beehive is one of the cleanest and most sterile environments found in nature. Preventing disease is a very important role in their first few weeks. During this time, they remove any dead bees and dispose of them as far from the hive as possible. They will also dispose of any dead brood quickly before they become a health risk. If a larger intruder, such as a mouse, is stung to death in the hive and cannot be removed due to its sheer size, they will use propolis, which is a brown sticky resin that has an antibacterial properties to hermetically seal the corpse, which is then mummified, no longer posing a health risk. During days 4 to 12, they are referred to as nurse bees. They tend to larvae, making sure they are fed. As mentioned in previous videos, a nurse bee will visit one larva up to 1,300 times per day. The number of days spent in the nursery depends on the number of brood and other tasks happening simultaneously. During days 7 to 12, they attend to Her Royal Highness. They feed and groom her and even remove her excrement, otherwise known as poop, from the hive. They also continue to coax and encourage her to continue laying eggs. During days 12 to 18, field bees are out collecting nectar and pollen from local plants. When they return, the house bees collect it from them and transfer it into cells, where an enzyme is added to the nectar. Fanning begins to evaporate the water, turning the nectar into honey. The pollen is packed into other cells, and this is referred to as bee bread. Both are food for the colony.
The part
So
of
you can see right in the middle there's a little bee that has pollen pants on. So you can see where they went out and they've picked up pollen and they've brought it back to the hive, and those stick to the furry parts on their leg.
Becoming a field bee is the last job she will do before her death. She will become darker and her wings can become tattered and torn. She will venture 1 to 3 kilometers from the hive, and it takes visiting 5 million flowers to make 1 pint of honey. Foraging is the most dangerous job as they become food for others or can get too cold, dying before returning to the hive. Fanning is used to control the temperature of the hive, keeping it at 93 to 95 degrees Celsius. Fanning is also used to evaporate the moisture from nectar, turning it into honey. It's also used for communication. There is a scent gland at the end of the abdomen called the Nasonephre gland. The workers will arch the abdomen into the air, fanning the scent, letting the rest of the bees know that this is their home. During days 12 to 35, workers are mature enough to begin producing beeswax out of a gland on the underside of their abdomen. This is used to construct new wax combs to store and seal honey, pollen, and capping developing brood. You can see in this video that they're on a new frame, and you can see the wax is starting to build, and they've actually capped some honey, and there is some stored pollen in here as well. During days 18 to 21, the workers have matured enough to have a powerful dose of venom in their stinger to defend the hive. Unfortunately, when she stings a mammal, her barbed stinger becomes stuck, and when she tries to pull away, the stinger pulls part of her abdomen out as well, thus killing her. However, they can still sting insects multiple times.